Welcome back to another episode of Grace on the Go. I'm Pastor Douglas. As we look at the Sermon on the Mount again this week, the topic of discussion is money, laying up treasure in heaven. And for this, I want to go to a parable of Jesus's that helps give us insight to a lot of these things that he's talking about in the Sermon on the Mount. And so I want to read the parable of the rich fool in Luke 12, starting in verse 13. So one of the crowd said to him, "Teacher, tell my brother to divide the inheritance with me." But he said to him, Jesus said this, "Man, who made me a judge or an arbiter over you?" And he said to them, "Take care and be on your guard against all covetousness, for one's life does not consist in the abundance of his possessions." And he told them a parable, saying, "The land of a rich man produced plentiful, and he thought to himself, what shall I do? For I have nowhere to store my crops. And he said, I will do this, I will tear down my barns and build larger ones, and there I will store all my grain and my goods. And I will say to my soul, Soul, you have ample goods laid up for many years. Relax, eat, drink, and be merry. But God said to him, Fool, this night your soul is required of you, and the things you have prepared, whose will they be? So is the one who lays up treasure for himself and is not rich towards God." And while there's a lot of wisdom we can glean from this small little parable, there's three things that I think really stand out that I want to focus on. The first, life does not consist in the abundance of his possessions. Life does not consist of the abundance of your possessions. And so what does your life consist of? Is it like this rich fool going after the next new thing, getting a bigger house, getting a faster car, getting the newest phone and technology, maybe even getting a prettier girlfriend or a prettier wife? What are you after? What does your life consist of? What are you surrounding yourself with? Are they the things that are heavenly things, or are they earthly things that are going to deteriorate and wear away and fade, and things that you can't take with you? What are you focusing on? What does your life consist of? The second thing I think really stands out to me is the reason why this man was building larger barns, why he was wanting to store up all this crop and this wealth. And we see that his reason is so that he can say to himself, you have goods for many years, relax, eat, drink, and be merry. That the reason for his wealth, the reason that he was going after all these things is so that he could have an easy life, so that he could sit back, relax, retire, and just fade away as he just relaxed in his own comfort. And that's not the reason why the Lord blesses us. He does not bless us so that we can be prosperous. He blesses us so that we can be generous. If you do have an abundance of money, the reason why the Lord has blessed you and pushed you in this position is not so that you can have a better life, but it's so that you can bless others with what He's given you. It's so that you can tithe that money, so that you can give offerings above your tithe to those who are in need, so that you can support the widows and the orphans, that you can support the oppressed and those who have little. God has given you an abundance, not for your own prosperity, but for your opportunity to be generous and to help out those who are around you. And the third thing that sticks out to me is that so is the one who lays up for treasures for himself and is not rich towards God. Are you rich towards God? Are you doing good works for His sake, for the Lord's sake, that you are building up these heavenly treasures? What I mean by that, what the Bible means by that is treasures in heaven, things that you aren't going to benefit from right now. You aren't going to benefit from giving a homeless man $10 so you can buy lunch. You are not going to benefit here on earth by giving to missionaries overseas. You're not going to benefit from these things here on earth. You're going to benefit for these things in heaven. That you are going to receive riches in heaven. That you are building up not for your salvation, not to earn grace or anything of this nature. It's not a buying your salvation by doing these things, but you become rich in heaven. You become rich in God, as Jesus says here, rich towards God. That you are continuing the sanctification of your own soul. That you are not valuing the things of this earth. That you are valuing heavenly things. That's where your heart is. That's where your mind is. And that's where your wallet is. Where you spend your money is going to tell you a lot about yourself. Are you spending your money on yourself, or are you spending your money on God and His kingdom and the advancement of that kingdom? So those are the three things that stick out to me from this small little parable. I encourage you to read it again, seek the Lord in wisdom, and pray over this and see what the Lord is saying to you. As you examine your own life, as you examine your own heart, what does your life consist of? Are you rich towards God, or are you rich towards this world?